Yo, what's going on, boys? Goldson back here with another adventure update. Today's video was supposed to be yesterday, but we're making it today. I found a few things that I wanted to add and I didn't have enough time, so now I'm doing it today, so don't stress. Today we got the complete Thaumaturgy shuffling on how to make profit, I guess. Yeah, we'll get straight into it. What's going down? My name's Goldson, a 36-year-old millennial bloke from Perth, Western Australia, you know, the land down under. Join me and my crew as we navigate the treacherous waters that is retail World of Warcraft. We are on a quest to obtain 100 million gold. I'll be showing you the good, the bad, and the ugly side of gold making with full transparency. Every Tuesday, I'll be counting me gold and seeing how many doubloons I get per hour. I'm not perfect, not by a long shot, but crikey, I'm working my ass off to get there slow and steady. So all aboard, you scurvy dogs. Drop me some helpful comments below and let's plunder that gold together. Fuck, look at this handsome bloke here. Alright, so just so this is my Thaumaturgy guide, and you can see here a bit of a school teacher. I go through the theory and then we have a bit of a practical assessment or theory or like a guide type thing. It's my preferred way of learning is to learn as much as you can about it, then put it into practice. I think that's the best way to learn overall in general in real life. So instead, as opposed to like just watching someone, it's always good to put it into practice yourself because it's like a reinforcement learning. It's like it's just a better way for the brain to retain information. But anyway, we're going to go through a bit of an introduction, how it works, how to profit, and a setup guide, and then in the practical, I'll show you how to use the spreadsheet, and I'll do a little Thaumaturgy session just to show you the steps I take and how I do it. Obviously, I do it on a bigger scale, but if you're just starting out and you just want to get your toes wet and see what the fuss is all about, you definitely want to stay tuned for this video, guys. And to be honest, if you're at this point in the game, we're nearly at season 2 of the War Within, and basically everyone should have a Thaumaturgy Alchemist, at least one, if not more, to make gold going forward. Like, yeah, it's really the meta, and I made videos on it before, but go back on my channel and have a look. I'll show you. But anyway, what else we got? So just a bit of a disclaimer. This is not like a complete guide because, as you know, if you did watch me from the start, my plan with the old army going into the War Within was to use concentration to turn rank 3 materials into rank 3 materials using concentration and arbitraging the profit there. I didn't even think about like doing the shuffle as like a full-time thing. I didn't consider it at all. So if you are interested to learn how the transmute cooldowns work, recipe discovery, you know, like the different reagent ranks, how they work, and just the flat out ingenuity build. I'm not sure if I have to revisit it again, but I think at the moment, just Thaumaturgy Shuffle, this guide is probably the better one to look at. But if you're interested, go back on the channel. This video I made back in August 17, 2024. So it was over 6 months ago now. And yeah, if you're keen for that, I'll put a link in the description. You can have a look at that. All right, brief introduction. So as you know, Thaumaturgy is a new system that they brought in for alchemists in the War Within. And it basically enables alchemists to transform reagents, or like we call it transmuting, cheaper materials into more expensive ones, really. And, you know, like just generating a profit from that. Like obviously you need an incentive to do this. But the main aspect of them introducing Thaumaturgy is that it contributes to balancing the reagent markets, meaning like if there's more quantity of a certain reagent, then the price doesn't tank. So if the price of a certain reagent gets pretty low, people will snap it up because they know they can destroy it and then turn it into more profitable things. So it's always gonna balance itself, and like I think it's a great system to have. Definitely much needed. Like in Dragonflight, it was pretty hectic with the cloth price and the hock and bloom and all this crazy stuff. But like with this thing, I honest to God, I don't think they're gonna get rid of this system. So this system you're better off learning about it now because it's going to stay. It's here to stay, basically. Oh, and it also serves as the primary method of acquiring blastomites. And if you know about me and blastomites, we've got a bit of a history. Yeah, if you watch my earlier videos, you see what my thoughts on it were. But like, it's a journey for me. If you are liking the journey process, I am documenting my efforts towards 100 million gold in the wall within. So do give us a follow, and I do weekly video updates every Tuesday without fail, and I'm showing my steps towards 100 million gold. So it's more of a process thing, a learning thing a lot. So if you are interested in learning a bit more about gold making in general, hit us up. And just as you know, I am coming from a Raid Mythic Plus background, and I'm dipping my toes into gold making. So I've seen the light. So some of you have said already. So that's cool. All right. So how does it work? All right. So consumes 50% of the reagents to generate more valuable ones. And alongside a variety of other byproducts. So what that means is that we start with some reagents, so undesirable reagents, and then we convert it into more desirable ones. You lose 50%, but I think it's more or less 69%. But you can see here, microbloom turns into bismuth, storm dust, and weaver cloth, and you get some transmutagen as well. We'll talk about that more. But essentially, we're just converting the cheap shit into the good stuff. Really, that's me being real basic about it. And at the same time, it kind of takes it out of the market by destroying half of it. All right, so this one here is a list of all the reagents we can transmute, and they're categorized into 3 family groups. And you can see here, we've got the ominous family, the mercurial family here, and then the volatile family. I think the most expensive one is definitely the ominous, because it's got the bismuth, microbloom, storm dust, weaver cloth. They're the expensive ones. So we don't really necessarily do these. We more than likely do the other families. So the gloom chitin, storm charged leather. These families are way more abundant because of the fact that it's leather, and which is easily farmable by the bots. So effectively, we're taking the reagents from the botters, and then instead of crashing the market, we're sort of helping the market. So it's a good thing, and it's definitely going to here to stay. But yeah, that's a bit of they got families. There's 12 items. There you go. All right, we're going to focus on the microbloom family. So that's the ominous. So you can use rank 1, 2, or 3. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. Whichever one's cheapest. So if you get the cheapest microbloom, you will convert it into bismuth, storm dust, weaver cloth, and you start with 100%, and then you end up with about 62.69% afterwards when you fully go through it. And you can see here, I've got like a bit of a percentage breakdown in descending order. You can see here. So I've written 52%. So 52% from 100 to 52. So really, we're not destroying 50% exactly. It's more like 48%, and it's even. They're pretty even, about 17.33% each way. So if you start off with 10,000, you're going to get about 33% bismuth, storm dust, and weaver cloth from it, which makes it a lot easier to calculate later on. And you will get a small percentage of the other families as well. So but you add them all up, 52, 7, and 3.6. We get 62.69. So there you go. But this concept here, it doesn't matter which family you use. So if we switch it out for gloom chitin, we put gloom chitin here instead of microbloom, right? Like the gloom chitin will change into different reagents. And I've got a spreadsheet that does it all for you. If you are just wanting to get your toes wet and just want to try it out, we're definitely going to go through that in a minute. So stick with us. There's additional byproducts if you like. You can see here you get gems from it basically, because alchemist gems, But now in the wall within, we're making blastomites from this. You get a small percentage of blastomites, and essentially, if you're getting ambivalent amber from this, it's basically a loss, because you're converting 20 of one item and you're just getting a gems. If you do get a gem, it's kind of like a loss, so we don't really need to include it, but either way, it does add up. The blastomites are the ones that probably worth the most out of all these gems for sure. And you also get these annoying pets, battle pets, which is a writhing transmutagen, a bit of a blob. I'm not much of a pet person in the game, I guess, but I just delete these. And you get Callway Catalyst, which is a BOP item. You can use that to experiment, or you can use it for cauldrons, for your raid groups, or if you're like me, you just delete both of them. Well, let's move on. Okay, so sort of roughly these are the steps to take. So like the first step will be determine which of the reagents you're going to use, and we're going to use my sheet to determine that at a glance. And then once you know which one you want, then you're going to obtain them. So I'll show you how I purchase it and how I obtain the reagents. Pretty easy stuff. You want to make sure you got the correct buffs on. We go through the buffs and all that. And then you transmute the reagents, and then once you do that, you transmute the transmutagens. So those are those red blobs and different coloured things. The transmutagens are the new thing. They're super confusing, but once you go through the process a few times, you sort of know what's going. Once that's done, then you can convert the gleaming transmutagen into blastomites, right? And then that's basically that process complete. And then you got the choice to either sell or keep. At the moment, initially I was selling it, just chucking it back on the auction house, which is a lot easier, but it's less profit because you got to take into account the 5% auction house fee, right? So recently I've been keeping my materials and converting it further, but that's another video for another time. But yeah, we'll continue on. So you need some add-ons. You need 2 add-ons really. I use Auctionator, which is a good add-on that interacts with the auction house, and it's made by Plus Mouse and a few other people as well, but mainly Plus Mouse. He's got a few add-ons actually, really good. But there's a new guy on the block, coding as a hobby. This guy's made mass salvage shit, and he's gone the distance and updated a icon there. Looks like he's a Horde player according to this, but it's hard to see. But this guy, he's come along and made a really, really good add-on. It was a bit controversial at the start because it's like auto stacking and then making it so you don't have to like drag, or you don't have to interact with it every 1,000 reagents. Like if you're doing 80,000 reagents like I am, like if you don't have mass salvage assist, then you're essentially manually putting 1,000 in, clicking the button. But like there's a bit of a way, if you keep stacking it, it just continuously keeps salvaging. And so it's a really good add-on. Like I said, controversial at the start, but now everyone's been using it for so long and no one's got in trouble. So I guess it's allowed, and Blizzard probably want that add-on, to be honest, because it's serving the purpose of taking out the reagents from the botters. All right, so this one here, alchemy tools. All right, so these are the alchemy tools. These are mine. Rank 5s. The first one, the hat, you don't really need it at rank 5, but it's just a bit cooler if you got rank 5. But you really just want it for the skill. The robe, you definitely want this at rank 5 because it gives you resourcefulness and crafting speed. Mainly we want resourcefulness, that's the primary stat that we need, and it gives you 11 skill. And then the main mixing rod, we got a resourcefulness missive on that, in addition to the resourcefulness enchant. So we got double resourcefulness on the tool, which is pretty cool, right? So that's the tooling. Let's go with the alchemy buffs. Okay, you can sort of see here, at the moment we're in winter time, and that's when the file of bountiful seasons is in effect, meaning during winter time in the game, and in North America, I believe, you get an increased buff to resourcefulness, which is very good. I think it's like 5%, so you definitely want that on there. And if you're an alchemist, you can unlock the double duration flask. Same with the aerated file of quick hands, which is a dragonflight file, which increases by your crafting speed by 30%. And if you do go back if you want double usage, you just go back to Dragonflight, learn Dragonflight Alchemy, and just get to skill 25 and then unlock the files. And you don't need any knowledge points, you just need 25 skill, pretty easy to obtain. Yeah. Weaver's Prodigy, that's a buff from Ashkahet, which is an additional 30%. So you got 30%, really, and then you're gonna be capped out at 75%. So you can see here the max resourcefulness that I can get personally in the game is 27%, which is pretty decent, and the crafting speed is 75%. You definitely want 75%, otherwise it's just going to take way long. Okay, so skill tree. Initially I thought you needed like 230 knowledge points, but it's actually 175 according to CraftSim, and I have tested this, and yeah, it's 175 knowledge point build. You want 50 points in alchemical mastery here, and then you want the remaining points into thaumaturgy. But you don't need the transmute one, because that's only for the transmutes. So who knows what they're going to do next patch, if they're going to bring in new transmutes. It'd be nice, but I'm not going to hold my breath anymore. But yeah, 175 knowledge points will get you started. All right, so you sort of got to determine, like, well, I like to say, ensure that the reagent that you're converting yields a higher value. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to be buying expensive stuff and then converting it down, because then you're losing money, right? Which you can do, so you can fuck it up basically. So, but with using my sheet, I've got enough data there to like ensure that you're always going to have profitability, right? Okay, so the sheet guide here, a link in the description. Sorry, you want to make a copy of that sheet. If you don't have Google account by now, you should get one, because all the stuff on there is free. Yeah, you don't need to pay for Microsoft 365, especially when you can create a Google account and start using their products for basically free. And then we're going to go into the video tutorial. I just realized that there's one thing I'm missing, and that's the Alchemist Stone. I do have information on that in my channel somewhere, but all right, I can't help myself, so I'm going to show you. Currently I've got the Zen Alchemist Stone. I'm going to delete it on purpose, so there we go, and I'll show you how easy it is to get a new one. So first things first, we want to fly to our capital city portal room. You can do that through Dornigal Alliance Scum, so Stormwind's my home, second home. Okay, now we want to go to the Jade Forest. Portal to the Jade Forest, in you go. Mists of Pandaria, probably the best expansion, I reckon. So we're here now. So we're at the bottom. We want to go up to, I think it's Dawn's Blossom, but it's basically directly north. Yeah, slight tangent. This place is awesome, eh? Okay, we've arrived in Dawn's Blossom. You can check it here on the map. Here's a big one here. Dawn's Blossom. You can take the bloody portal there, or flight path. But once you're here, there's an alchemy dude here, so you click on him. Train me in alchemy. You learn Pandaria alchemy. You don't need any skill or anything, you just learn it. And then if you bring out your alchemy profession book, switch to Pandaria, and you automatically get the Zen Alchemist Stone, right? So all you got to do is track the recipe, go on your auction house mount if you got one, click search. We want 3 of them, so it's 18 gold. Buy, open mailbox. Okay, now open profession, craft Zen Alchemist Stone, piece of piss. Look at that. So now you just keep it in your bags and never have to worry about it again. So, but back to the video. That's the end of the theory. We're going to shift over to the practical guide, showing you how to use the sheet and how to set up the add-on and just interact with that, and a bit of a guide at the end. So stay tuned for that one, and hope you enjoy it. So there you go. All right, practical time for the thaumaturgy guide. So thanks for staying with us. Basically, I'm just going to show you how to set up the sheet, how to import the prices, and I'll show you how I personally do my thaumaturgy sessions. So we're going to take down the cam. You don't need to see me anymore, but we'll just focus on the content, eh? All right, so as you click the link in the description, you make a copy of this thaumaturgy sheet, which I'll make available as soon as I upload this. So this is a bit of a thank you to all my followers, and maybe it's something that people can use to get their foot in the door. But yeah, the welcome message there, you can just right click hide thaumaturgy requirements. So just like sort of a quick one of what you need to get going. You can hide that once you've finished, which brings us to overview. So all these tabs at the bottom here, really we're just going to hide all of them except for 2 of them. So, but I'm going to show you how I set it up. So right now this page is a little bit like, whoa, what the fuck's all this shit? And understandable, but this purple these purple rows here, they're shopping lists. So if you highlight all 6 of them, and then you copy them, right? And then we'll go into the game and I'll show you. So we're logged into the game now, and what have we got? We're in the core way. So we open up Auctionator. So Auctionator's default as you install it. So you want to go down the shopping list here, and currently we've got no shopping list. So if you just press import and then paste that string in and then import, it should import the 6 shopping lists here, and they're in order. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The first one is search, and the second one is refine, and the last 4 are just the reagents. Okay, so let's say we search all on the first one. This will search all of the 12 reagents that come from, or it's a bit more than 12, I think. Yeah, I think it's like 17 or something like that. But we just scan, and then we click export results, and then we get a copy text again. So we just Control C, and then now we can go into the spreadsheet, right? So once you've made those shopping lists, you can just hide it or delete it, whatever. Just hide, and now it's not so daunting. But okay, this top section is the winter time, and the bottom section is summertime. So because of the file of bountiful seasons gives us a resourcefulness buff during winter time, that's why these have 2 different values, and I had to create 2 of each sheet. So if you can see down the bottom here, I've got bismuth, and then I've got another one called bountiful bismuth. So they're pretty much a copy of each other, but the bountiful one has different stats. So you can see here, like, you don't really need to look at this, but all you need to know is that if you're going to use this sheet, you're going to be using my numbers, and my numbers are based on 800,000 reagents. So all these reagents here is the result of me transmuting 800,000 bismuth. So this is like a bit of a sum of all the items, and then a total, and then this sheet just works it out, like what the profitability is. Okay, but like I said, you don't really need to look at it, but we'll input the prices first. So because this is the first tab and the second tab, so these 2 tabs are really all that you're going to be using. So this one here, because we've copied the information, we just click on the green cell and then paste it, and it should automatically fill this in. All right, so we go Control B. You see that it's populated. This is a split function. You don't really need to see it. So what I do is just highlight the rows and then right click hide. So it's just one less thing to worry about. Hell, you could like hide all of it if you want to do. But really, you're just pasting that Auctionator string into here, and then it's populating this sheet here. And you can see the ones in purple are the important ones. The ones in blue are the gems. Not so important, I guess. But you can see here, if we go back to the overview, it's populated some numbers here, and you look at it, this is all green, which is good. But this is based on getting your reagents for free. So if you were to go out and mine 40,000, let's say bismuth, you will basically make 303,000 gold. So I don't know how long that would take, but for this example, we buy it. And to buy it, we've got to go back to the sheet. So we're in the game. So we've done the first one is it's an overall search, and then the second one is a refining search. So we do the refining search to avoid the master betas, right? So if we click on it, it is 7 gold 50. So we can just go back and check 7 gold 50. Okay, so to make it a bit easier, see the ones in blue, we're just going to hide them. So we select those rows and we right click hide. So now we're only dealing with the main material. So now we can just sort of refine the search. So we'll just Acarite 7 gold 50, yep. Spear 1890, yep. So we're just going to go through and check them all. Okay, everything's looking pretty good, but just double check. I'll just reiterate. The first one is search, so they'll search all. The second one is it will refine the search, and each time if you click on it, it will just give you the average of the first 1,000. Just in case, we do this because sometimes there are master betas out there that will post at a lower price, which will screw up the sheet. So it's better to search and then refine, and then once you've done that, and then we can look at the prices. So we've essentially told the sheet this is our prices, okay? And you can see these other sheets. You don't really need to know them, so we'll just hide them. So I'll go through and hide all these sheets. So when you open up the link, these are all going to be hidden, and you're just going to see the welcome message. You know, you'll see 4 tabs, and then you'll see the overview and thaumaturgy. So you can see it's only 2 tabs. So really, you're not, the whole point of spreadsheets is to put your data in and then simplify it, so it's just easy to use. So I think this is the easiest method that I've come across, and I feel like it's good enough to share. Okay, so overview. Now we need to put in our prices. So let's go bismuth first. So we'll go back into the game, and then the third option is bismuth. So we click search, and this is based on 80,000. So every time I click on one of these, it's going to try and buy 80,000 ore. And what we do is that we just find the lowest one. So that's 14 gold 23 or 1423, 1436. Okay, so bismuth, the cheapest one is 1421. So that's the average of 80,000. So 1421. Come back to the sheet, type it in 1421, press enter, and you can see now automatically it's giving us a negative response. It's basically telling you do not Thaumaturgy bismuth, because you're going to lose money. You're going to lose a lot of money actually. All right, so now we go to microbloom. So we go to microbloom here, click search all, and again we just click on each one and see which average is the lowest. So 8 gold 69, 890. Okay, so the lowest one is 8 gold 69. So we put it in our sheet, 8 gold 69, enter. All right, so it's returning, if we do microbloom to sell, we're going to lose money. If we do microbloom and we keep the materials to use for ourselves, then we're making money. So if we only do 40,000, we're going to get 8,300 gold cheaper essentially. And yeah, this sheet is telling you. So the first column here, this one's if you sell it on the open market, and the second one is if you keep it. So I used to sell, and now I'm keeping it. I'm refining. I'm keeping it, and I'm going to do more with it through the other professions, which is another video. But let's have a look at Gloomchitin. So we click on Gloomchitin, search all, and let's determine the cheapest one. 1616, 1628, 1624. So yeah, 1616 is the cheapest. Chuck that in. All right, so this one's returning a positive profit. So 27,000 gold. So this is 27,000 gold per hour roughly. It's about 1 hour and 5 minutes to do it completely. So roughly an hour. So 27k an hour. If you're happy with that and just selling it on the open market, then you can buy a Gloomchitin. Just sit there and prospect it or transmute it. My apologies. Yeah, and if you decide to keep it, then you're going to have 41,000 gold worth of stuff. Me personally, I do 80k sessions, which is about 2 hours 10 minutes a pop. And if I do that, that's gonna what do you call it? Net me 83,000 gold, which is a lot. So that's like 40k, 41k an hour. Like I said here, 41k an hour, pretty good. But let's check out Storm Charged Leather, because that's the last one on the list. Let's find out 648, 652. So 648's the cheapest. 648, enter. All right, so looking at this at a glance, you can see here. So at a glance, we're focusing on the winter time. We put in our prices. And right now, the best bang for buck is Gloomchitin at 83k. Storm Charged Leather is 66, but essentially the Gloomchitin and Storm Charged Leather together are profitable. So because I've got 4 alchemists, I essentially times this number by 4, and that's how much I get per session. So what's that? About 320,000 gold every 2 hours, 2.5 hours, I guess, which is a lot. So if I Thaumaturgy all day on four accounts, then that's like 1 million gold a day. But obviously, if you only have one account, then that's 250k a day. So really, it's a lot. But it is mind numbing. But it's completely AFK, so you can muck around with that. But yeah, that's basically the cheat sheet to the spreadsheet. But okay, let's use that example. So I want to buy Gloomchitin. So I'll come into the game. I've determined, okay, I want to do Gloomchitin, so I'll search that up. You can see here there's a master beta here, 1 gold 38, but it doesn't matter. We're going by the average. So because this normally I do 80,000, but for this example I'll just do 10. So that's 6 gold 14. So we'll chuck that 6 gold 14. All right. So I'm just because it's going to take 2 hours. I don't want it to take forever. So since I've got TSM now, I'm opening the mail for that. So you get your mail. So I've got 10,000 there. I pop out a vial of Bountiful Seasons. here, and then a vial of quick hands. So I've got all the buffs. So all I got to do now, I'll open up a stopwatch because that's what I like doing. I'll just click start, and then I'll click alchemy, thaumaturgy, select item to off you go, and just click transmute. That's basically it. And I can sort of bring the timer across here. So there is that add-on here, mass salvage assist. You can see it at the top, on top of the professions window. Okay, it's saying 11 minutes to do all this. So really, it's automatically transmuting. So 10 minutes. But normally when I'm doing it for 2 hours, every half an hour, you got to sort of move the camera or interact with the game, otherwise you'll log you out. So you can sort of see here we're getting a bunch of transmutagen, we're getting some gleaming, we got some mercurial, volatile, and gleaming transmutagen. We got ourselves a writhing sample of writhing transmutagen, so that's a pet. We're getting some core way catalyst. It's pretty fitting knowing that we are in the core way. What else? So we're getting a bunch of acarite, bunch of orbinate, lure drop. We just got ourselves a gem. All right, so as this is going to go off, I'll go back to the sheet. So just so if you are curious and you want to have a look at the breakdown, so you go to hidden sheets here. So because if you hide a sheet, you can just go to view, hidden sheets, and then find the sheet that you're after. So we want bountiful gloom chitin. So we click on that. This is basically my data sheet. So there's the 800,000 gloom chitin that I've recorded, and then I've marked it here that it gives mostly acarite, lure drop, and orbinid. So if you want acarite, lure drop, or orbinid, you go and process gloom chitin. So this is the breakdown. So that's 800,000. This middle one is 80,000. And this one's 40,000. So that's how these are my numbers. And then all I'm doing is projecting those numbers into the overview sheet. So you don't really, all you need to do is input here and then have a look here. So just so you know, that's my calculations. You can just hide it. Like I said, you just have the two sheets like that, piece of piss, nice and easy. I don't think it's confusing. You can just put in your prices and then see which one's giving you the highest return on investment and just do that. Off you go. And you'll basically make gold. So what I'll do, I'll cut towards when it's finished, and then we'll continue. I'll show you the further process from there. Okay. Oh yeah, I just got finally a little bit of a tangent, but I got me why can't you see it? I got me RAM and my new SSD. It's 32 gigs of RAM, so in total I'll have 64. Hopefully I can run 5 WoW accounts better, and I've got a 1 terabyte SSD just because I need more space on my C drives. Thank God these came. We've got a few more minutes here to go, but for this example, I am just stacking it up nicely so you can see the results. And if you want to see here, you can see your chat log just populating all the results. So we are getting a lot of transmutagen with this process, so that's also good. Oh yeah, just another quick tip. If you are crafting and your frames are being hectic, just close your bag, and then if you're crafting in the normal window, just click on specializations. Doesn't matter which tab, but I've found that it reduces the it gets rid of the sound and the animation, so it doesn't really need to animate as much. You can see here's the build. You don't really need the transmutation one, even though the tooltip says you need one, but I don't know, I'm going off by what CraftSim told me. Yeah, the mass salvage assist add-on is basically a fucking game changer, man. Like, it automatically, see these stacks getting low, so it's at 700, 600, and as it gets lower, it will automatically fill it up. So it's like automatically filling it up. So you never have to manually input the reagent, which is pretty cool. You only have to do it when all of it runs out. Cool. So we're all done. You can see here in the bags, so that's at 12 minutes. But we're not done yet. We have to go through the transmutagen. So you can see here we've got orbinid, acarite, and lure drop, which is from our sheet. That's what the majority it turns into. We've got some gems here. We've got some transmutagen. We've got some pets and that core catalyst. But now we go back to the sheet. Oh, not the sheet, the interface. And then we plug in our mercurial transmutagen and off we go. So transmutagen, because we're doing the mercurial one, we're going to start getting reagents from that family. So now we're producing iron claw, Ratha's spear. So you can see here, I'm just going to post it here. And now we're getting the ominous transmutagen as a byproduct. So we're getting more. This is the primary reagent, so you're going to get and then you're going to get secondary ones, and then you got your tertiary ones, which is the gems. So we'll go through all the transmutagens. So you can see here, mass salvage assist is going to just churn through all of this transmutagen, and once it runs out, we're just going to pick the next highest one, and we're going to do that until there's like no transmutagen left. Oh, we just got a radiant ruby. There you go. Remember what I said, every time you get a gem proc, it's a loss. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so we're nearly done this one. If you take your eyes to the screen now, you can see that we're in the rank 2 bracket, which means our results are going to be rank 2 reagents. If you didn't have enough skill, you'll be producing rank 1. So it's really important. That's why we have the skill and the talent points to get into the rank 2 bracket. All right, so now we have look on the screen, we go the next highest. So the next highest is the green stuff, so we'll transmute the green stuff. And then, now we're going to be making more material. So we're now making weave the cloth, storm dust, bismuth. So we're getting a bit of everything, really. So, which is good. So it's essentially transferring that gloom chitin into like usable reagents. So we just got some microbloom there. Pretty cool stuff. And just as a caveat, these reagents here, you're obtaining these way cheaper than anything else on the market because you bought the gloom chitin quite cheap. You know what I mean? So that you're already arbitraging the reagent prices of all these materials. Like Aratha's spear is 18 gold 90. You know what I mean? Like, and you spent like fuck all, 6 gold something for it. All right, ominous transmutagen, in you go. This is the most. If you're only going to do small amounts of this, like if you're doing 20k, 40k at a time, it means you just have to go through that process a lot more often. So that's why I like to do big numbers. Like I'll do 80,000. So that's every 2 hours. I'll have to go through and do the refining of the transmutagen. So we're just going to churn through it. So now that we can't do it anymore, we'll start making the Gleaming Glory, which is the craft that produces the blastomites. So it's saying we can craft 16 blastomites out of that 10k. So it's pretty cool. And then all I don't delete these transmutagen. I just leave them in my bags. So pause it. So that took 17 minutes. Okay, so and according to our sheet, we just made 7,000 gold if we sell it on the open market. So 7,000 gold in less than 20 minutes, if you know what I mean. So and that's if you're selling it. So I could just go straight in the auction house and sell it all. You know what I mean? So let's do it, eh? We'll just sell everything. So this is what I usually do. I'll just come in here and just click post. Sell. I'll just sell it at the market rate. I'll just keep an eye out for beta. If there's no betas, then we just sell everything. Gems, just sell everything. Okay. Boom, look at that. Okay, so if we go, so we put in, we're selling 70,000 gold worth of shit. We're getting sales already. So we could just leave that in there and then buy more and keep doing it. And the sky's the limit. You can do as much as this as you like. What I normally do is afterwards I'll just delete these transmutagen pets because they're just so abundant. They're not worth anything. And I'll just delete the Coreway catalyst. And that's basically it. I'm just left with empty bags. I've got a bunch of transmutagen here ready to go. And all I got to do, rinse and repeat, is go back on here, shopping. I'll do another scan like so. And then I'll input it, go to the second tab, chuck it in here, and then punch in our numbers and then just literally just pick whatever's highest and just go back and thaumaturge that. But I hope that concept, theory, practical guide, if you enjoyed it, and now that you understand more than you did before, the concept of thaumaturgy. So go out there, have a bit of fun, get your toes wet, experience. Like I do this every day now, like for my materials, because it's just added profit and it's AFK. So I can sell on my main account, and then on the side account I can be making gold. But obviously you need more accounts. The more accounts you got, the better. I think if you're into gold making, you should have at least 5 accounts minimum, to be honest. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you on Tuesday for the weekly recap. Turu, and see you later, guys. Have a good weekend, eh? Take it easy.